everyone. Welcome to this unique episode. This is Jajalola, and I'm here with Mercy Adewusi to talk about her journey so far. Hi, Mercy. How are you doing?
Hi, JJ. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing good. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much. You look stunning as well.
Oh, thank you. Like, you're looking gorgeous and everything.
Oh, I'm copying you.
Oh, my
Definitely.
gosh.
I'm following your footsteps.
Oh, it's okay. I know. Oh, no, no, no. So, how are you feeling about this episode?
I feel kind of curious and nervous at the same time. It's something new, and this is like my first time of doing something like this. So I'm kind of like excited to see how it goes, and it's interesting to watch.
I'm very sure this is going to go perfect because you're a very good interactor. You know how to pick your words and you know how to get your words out there. So I'm very, very confident that this will go well. So don't be too nervous. Everything will be fine. So I'm just going to start with a very not so easy question because, you know, people sometimes get thrown off with this question. So can you just tell me a little bit about yourself and, you know, who is Mercy Adewusi?
Okay, as easy as that sounds, it's very hard at the same time when I think about it. Mercy Adewusi is a child of God first. I'm the only daughter of my parents, Adewusi. We are four. And I have an older brother as well. And we're kind of like a small family. And yeah, so Mercy's a believer. She believes in God. She's a worship leader in church. She's also into the youth ministry and the media team as well. And Mercy has a lot of friends. I mean, let's say a lot. Yeah, Mercy loves interacting with people. Mercy is an extrovert. Mercy loves planning events as well. And Mercy is also currently taking a master's at Virginia
Wow.
Tech.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And yeah, so I would say I'm an outgoing person, fun to be with. I can be a bit of an introvert depending on the situation I find myself in. So yes, I would say I'm a people lover as well.
So Mercy is all of that and more for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
It seems like you have so much going on, like from different aspects of your life. So can you tell me one thing you're really passionate about?
One thing I'm really passionate about is about doing ministry, and that is doing God's will. You know, first I'm a child of God, and you know, God in John 3:16 said, "He loves us so much, He came to this world to die for us." And you know, as believers, the first and primary purpose we have is actually to go out there and bring other people to Christ as well. And I would say I have a passion for that as well because I believe so much in it, impacting lives, inspiring others, helping others get better. You know, I also had where I was coming from. I didn't get here. People helped me along the way, and I would want to be that person in other people's lives as well. So I would say I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about the people I care about, definitely, because I mean, I believe so much in everyone growing. You know, there's no you have to stay there. Everybody has to grow. My friends have to do so much better too. So I believe we can do so much more. You know, we all have a part to play in this life. It's beyond where we are now. It's what God is doing in our lives. So I'm very passionate about that.
I can see everything. I can see it glowing on your face too.
Oh, wow! Thank you.
Like I know, like you're this person that's very, very passionate about God, and it shows through you to other people. I'm part of the people that got inspired through you. So I hope that you keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And since you know, what made you so firm in that your belief? Like, what has held you so far? You know, a lot of people struggle with, like, you know, staying, or you know, they fall back, which is okay. You know, people, you know, fall back all the time. But what has made you so strong in your belief in God so far?
Well, firstly, I want to say that my parents are pastors. My dad is a pastor. He's the pastor of Faith Harvest Assembly. And so I would like to say that being born into a Christian home, first of all, has its perks as well, because I know that, you know, my parents were forcing me to church. You know, they told me to pray because my dad prayed a lot of the times. But the thing is that I hated it. I hated it because my dad is always forcing me. He's always like, "Oh, can you do it?" I believe it was like a chore to me. I never truly understood the value of what he was doing, why, you know. So most of the time, even when I went to college, I rather not go home for holidays. I rather stay back in school because I didn't want to go to church and everything. So I didn't just get here instantaneously. It took a lot of years. So now, fast forward to school, I was church hopping most of the time. I would rather go to different churches every Sunday or not go to church at all, because I was like, I'm not really interested in that. But I was part of a youth fellowship that was YDI. So it's like an organization of different Christians. So I felt like God literally put me there in just because I really love that. The fact that, oh, it's not just one church that is doing this, and again we get to talk about different aspects of life. So I was quite passionate about it. I mean, I was a youth, I was a programs coordinator there within a year. So fast forward to moving down here from Nigeria, that was where I lost it all. You know, back in school, Nigeria, I had people that were Christians around me, but now I'm free. Like, when I mean free, everybody's literally working. You can, you don't have no time. There's no time to get. So for about 3 years, I didn't go to church. I mean, maybe like once or twice in a year or thereabouts. I was mostly working, and but I felt very empty and depressed most of the time. It's not just about money. It's not just about working. I was so isolated. I didn't expect. I used to be a people's person. There was no really people to. There were like no people to interact with. So no connection. So I'm always like home alone. Most times I'm always crying. Most times I'm always depressed. And then, for some reason, I found I had gone to a Redeemed church, and someone gave me a number just to collect clothes from her. And I had a number on my phone saved, right? So one day I just saw a WhatsApp status inviting us to a church, Christ River Church. I'm like, I miss that kind of fellowship that I had in YDI. So I'm like, no, let me see what it's all about. That period of my life was, I was like at the bottom of everything that was going on. So I just went, and it changed me completely. Of course, I was not serious at first. Of course, I was called a lot of times by people, by pastors. Oh, are you coming to church? I said, I'm not coming. I'm busy. I'm working and so many things. Until finally, I had somebody that constantly checked up on me and discipled me. When I'm like, I'm not going, forced me and so many things like that. And I'm actually very grateful for that person, because they actually made me more committed before I actually found the light myself. So when I saw the light, I saw that this is actually real. This is real than me learning it from my parents. This is real than me learning it from everybody. This is me learning from myself. And Christ River Church happens to be the place that was the best. That God literally orchestrated.
You found the right fit for
yes.
you. Yes.
So my pastor, it's a Bible-based church, and he will break it down for you to understand what the gospel really is. So it's not about what you've done before in the past. It's not about who you've been. It's not about the things you've been through that you felt like you can never get over. So, I thought that God has left me, till I found out that He was always there, always still waiting for me. So even when I was always crying, when I felt like, I want to even commit suicide, I'm just tired of this. I felt like, there was a time I was like, there's so much to life than just working. I was just there. There was no meaning. No, it was empty, literally. There was no satisfaction. And I started growing, started learning, started praying, started speaking in tongues, and it got better. I started seeing that, I can actually do more, I got passionate. I, started to also teach as well, started to do so much more. And it's been better. For real, I've been growing, definitely. And, again,
it shows. It shows. I'm thankful to God for it.
And it was important to know that I started from somewhere as well. And nobody is ever too far gone. That's one thing I've ever said. I'm using my life as an example of the person that went far and came back.
You're an example to me, for sure. So, and to many people as well. So it looks like you're very, very strong in that aspect.
Well, thank God.
Kudos to you. Kudos to you.
God did this for you.
I want to be like you when I grow up. So, what would you say has inspired you, in your life?
In my life.
I know there's been so many people, but can you maybe name a few or maybe one?
Well, apparently my parents, of course I didn't believe in what they were doing then, but now that I see it, they are trying to be consistent in praying, to be consistent to your faith. In this, the world we live in now, people are easily distracted, and that's why the distractions, they honor God so much in their life, and it's so inspiring to know that this, they are always there. They give without expecting anything in return. So definitely my parents, my pastor, my mentor. I walked up to my mentor. Then she wasn't my mentor, and I'm like, "Can you be my mentor?" Because I just love what she embodies. Like, she
Sort
was
of like a role model.
Yes, a role model. And I feel very inspired by her. And definitely books as well. I've read books by Joyce Meyer, so I'm so inspired by her story. Came from abuse to divorce to what she's doing now. So it just makes me know that nobody is actually far gone. And that's the funny thing. We look at people's lives. The devil like tells us lies and says a lot of things that it can never amount to anything. Stuff. I've heard a lot of stuff growing up, and I also made a lot of mistakes as well. Made a lot of wrong choices growing up, and I'm like,
that's normal.
Yes,
that's
made a lot of wrong choices.
That's how we learn.
Exactly, and I felt like this is it. Like God can never, doesn't care about me, and I was, and me able to hear her story, Joyce Meyer, and know that she actually went through, she actually got better. She's actually doing so well beyond her imagination. I feel like that inspires me a lot. So I am definitely inspired by her as well.
That's good. You have a lot of people who inspired you. I like that for you.
Thank you.
I'm also finding people who inspire me, although I do have some already. So,
okay. Awesome.
That's good to hear. So can you, it sounds like you might have been through, some tough times in the past. Like, I know you said you moved from Nigeria to the US a couple of years ago, and, you were kind of isolated. So how were you able to handle those tough times? I know you're a very religious person, so I know that aspect for sure. But how else were you able to handle that?
Well, I know I moved down here, not a strong believer at all. I was only going to church, and I was trying to do it on my own. So, back in school, I'd left school at 19, graduated at 19, I had like a kind of plan for my life. So I felt like, after this, by this age, I'm going to get this done. By this age, I'm going to get this done. We all say that plans. I mean, right? I used to be a plan. And then coming here, I'm meeting the shock of my life. First, the jobs I thought I could do, I wasn't doing them. And then meeting people was hard. The friendship that was so easy to, make and everything, it was harder. People are different here. Everybody's probably scared or hurt or distant.
You'll be surprised a lot of people would say the same thing.
Exactly. That's the thing. Everybody wants to make that connection, but they are scared of opening up. So most of the time, you meet people and you're like, what's up? They just want to this, I don't want problem. I don't want any, get that kind of thing. So I was isolated most times. My life was basically work, go home, come back to work, go home, and come back to work, go home. So that was what I was doing for like 3 years. And that made me so depressed because even my friends in Nigeria, most of them, of course, video call. So nobody tells you what to expect here. Yes, you want a better life, you get money and so many
But
things.
you were not expecting to meet that shock, right?
Exactly.
It's a culture shock, right?
It's a big culture shock. I feel like it's not talked about enough.
True.
Because even if there are a lot of Nigerians in a particular community, doesn't mean that it's like the
one.
same. Yeah, it's like the way you were of course you grew up where you were born there and you're coming here, it's going to be a big change. And I came here alone, so it was definitely a very big change for me. And I'm just grateful to God because it's been a ups and downs. I made few mistakes based on the influence I had around me. I had, those were the people that I thought they were able to guide me, but of course, I didn't know better.
No, I mean, people make mistakes, and that's how we learn. That's how we grow. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, so I won't say that I was able to go through it better. There was only a time I was writing letter that, I want to go back to Nigeria. I mean, because I feel like I'm not doing what I'm meant to be doing. There was just this
just
emptiness.
what you felt.
Yes, I was saving money, yes, but there was emptiness there. I was ghosting most of my friends back in Nigeria, so I lost some of my meaningful friendships, even till now. based on this. And of course, I won't blame them because I was.
So can I stop you there?
Yeah, definitely.
So how would you say your friendship has grown or changed over time, based on what you just said?
Well, now I'm not doing that. Oh, you have to be alone kind of thing. You don't need people. I mean, you get those quotes that they used to say now, I want to sort these things out alone. Now, I believe so much in you need people around you. And, explain to people what you are going through as well, especially if your friends.
Yes.
If I possibly explain it better to them, that they know their own situation, maybe it's better. But I was scared to explain it to them because everybody will, because I'm expecting like, you that you have traveled abroad, you have a better. And nobody understood. Exactly. So I was off social media.
Yeah.
I was off WhatsApp. I was off everywhere, literally. Instagram. My friends would be like, "Are you?" I don't know, that kind of thing. You not post on any platform because you don't even want anybody to interact with you. But now it's changed. It's getting better, definitely. I'm not there yet, but it's getting better. It's a whole lot of reprogramming that is going on. But my friendship has definitely changed. I have a beautiful community of friends here and still in Nigeria, and people that will pray together, people that when I'm going through stuff, I'm not the kind of person that will be like, oh, I want to. No.
Your friends sound very awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I have friends, like couple of friends, like Sister Ore, Sister Pelumi, Sister Busola, and so many people, Benita, so many here that I can just talk to.
So, like, you have this strong community both home and abroad. Like,
yes, and then my best
all these
friend.
people guiding you and just being there for you.
Yes, definitely.
Instead of like looking back and thinking, oh, you don't need them. Like, but now it's like, I know the people I have, I need to stick by them. They're there for me, right?
Yeah, and you're also there for them as well. Even in Nigeria, I still have friends there. Like my best friend, she's still in Nigeria, Dara, and we are still close till now. Now it's evolved though. Then we both did not know God, so now. And it's so beautiful to watch that we are both praying now. We are both giving each other word of knowledge, prophesying into each other's lives. She's able to sense when something is, what's going on with you. Get that kind of thing, and it's evolved right now, and it's so beautiful to see.
I'm a bit jealous. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, and and not just friendship, also mentors as well. People that can go and meet in church around me as well. I'm like, okay, I need this, and I'm so grateful that I had them in my corner because you really need. God uses people to help people.
True.
So we can't say that God is going to help me and you're in that school. Yes, you have to talk to people. I've had times where God will be like, talk to this person. She has a solution for you. And I've gone to. So it's definitely better. Now with God in your eye, it's better. It's definitely better. Of course, I still have friends that are not really strong believers, but I mean, that doesn't mean that they are not my friends. Of course, I'll still pray with them, I'll talk to them, they need help and everything like that. So, yeah, it's better now.
Very good answer. You're doing good so far. I hope you're no longer nervous.
Oh, I think it's better now.
Yes.
I'm relaxed now.
See, you're doing good. You're doing good. So, let's just make this more personal, right? Because this is more about you. So, can you tell me how your journey has been so far? Like, your years, moving from Nigeria to the US, or even before Nigeria, and in hindsight, how do you feel about everything?
I didn't expect all this. Yeah, like if I tell you 2 years ago I'll be doing what I'm doing now, I'll say it's a lie. So I've learned to trust in God now, trust in His choices, trust in whatever He says is final. Then I was thinking I could do it on my own, because I thought I had knowledge of how my life was planned out. But I remember he told me one day that, you have to let me in. So both of us cannot do it at the same time. I have to let him in. And that was when I knew that I was still trying to control things, because I used to be a very big, I mean, someone still told me recently, because it's still something I'm still, trying to make sure that it gets better, and that's the aspect of trying to control things. This should be this. My life should be. I should be here by now. So that was what affected me when I first came here, because finished school. Even before I finished school, I used to go for different conferences because I love networking with people. There was literally
it's obvious.
So I love networking. I could walk up to you. Can you be my friend? Oh, I want to learn from you. You get that kind of thing. So I kind of felt like even if I stayed in Nigeria, I would still be able to get jobs and everything. I had no issue with that. So when my mom told me to come here and things changed, there was those people were not there. Now I have to build from the scratch.
Yeah,
really start over. So now what will I do apart from trust God? I've gone through situations where I knew that there's literally nothing I can do apart from trust God. And it's not instantaneously. You'll not get it, especially for somebody like me that likes to control things. I remember I battled with something for years, and for about a year plus last year, throughout last year, and even God sent people to come and meet me and tell me that people that didn't even know what I was going through, that I see you so worried, don't be so worried. That thing, I will resolve it. I still do not believe it though, until when God resolved the thing and I got it, and it felt like nothing to me. It felt like I was not like, so this is it. This is what I've been so worried about. This is what I've been crying so much about. Like, so it felt nothing. I felt nothing. Like, oh, on to the next. So do you understand?
So like it doesn't ever end. It's how you handle it, right?
So the wants, the needs, the things we need in this life, the places we feel like we should be, the stuff we think that we need to achieve, will not end. You see people that with maybe some followers, they want to have like 2K, or they get the 2K, they are thinking of 200, they get 200. It never ends. That's why celebrity has still.
I mean, that's the human nature, right?
Exactly. Even the richest man still wants to remain the richest man. They are still finding things that is not lost there. So when I realized that, it's just beginning to really sink in that this life I'm living is not mine, and there will be so many more challenges to come. And I remember in one of our Bible studies not too long ago that one of my big sisters mentioned that you should stop being scared of challenges. When you are thinking about something, that a thought comes to you and you're like, go for it, can never. What if it does happen? What do you now want to do? People that it happens, they die. You understand? So when we are able to go through that thing, that no matter what, God is going to save us, God is going to help us, He will see us through, He will never leave us or forsake us. That's the only way we are able to see that I'll just depend on God. What do I want to do again? If God had not helped me in this situation I went through, that I thought that I was going to go crazy over, who else would I have? Nobody, because I had no one else to run to literally. So now the way I see challenges is now that God is seeing you. I'll cry.
Come,
I mean, I'll definitely shed tears because I'm a very emotional person. But the fact that I'll not let it take in my life, like, of course, especially if that's why you need to have people that are believers around as well. I'll call them. I'll be like, I'll go and sleep. It's to get resolved. Because the next day, now that one has gone, I'm thinking of something. The next day, it felt like nothing. That was when I knew that you can't live your life.
You can't be happy that way.
Exactly. So things cannot really satisfy you except from doing what God has sent you to do. So now, fast forward to now, I'm focused on doing what God wants me to do, like that plan, that purpose. I want to impact life. I want to do so much more. Like, it's beyond me now. Now it's God. And that's what I'm so focusing on now.
So, I was just gonna ask like a very, I'll say chill question.
Oh, okay.
But maybe not so chill for you. We'll see about that. So, can you tell me maybe a time where you had to step out of your comfort zone and how you were able to handle it? I'm sure you have many times, but just maybe one.
I feel like the significant one for me was last year November, 21st to be precise, when I got on the bus to go to Chicago for Navy boot camp.
Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's Chicago. Thank you for Navy boot camp. That's something I never. Even when I was younger, that when they said, "What do you want to be in the future?" and I said, "Doctor," because I thought that my parents doctor, my brother engineer, my other brother lawyer. Military never came to my mind until September. Was it? Yeah, October last year, 2023, and I left in November within 8 months.
Wow.
Yes, that was how fast the decision was.
Wow.
So I mean, the thought has always been coming for past 2 years, I remember I was talking to my then partner, and you know, I was like, what? It's possible, it's not possible, and stuff like that. And you know, it just came out. It came out when people were like, oh, you should do it. You know, if you want them to pay for your school, you should do it. You know, military is benefits and so many things. But I was like, I'll be fine without it. Then last year came. I was going through a very tough situation, and I'm like, what? God, I really don't know
What time last year was that?
That was about August.
Okay. Okay.
And back in July, one of my sisters had left Indiana. She moved to another state, and she had told me something. And she said, I feel like in October, you're going to feel the need to leave, the urge to leave. I said, you're lying, I'm not going anywhere. Where do you want me? I love my church, I'm going to stay in my church. I love everything. I know I'm not leaving, definitely never. You know, where do I want to go to? She said, I feel like you have a urge to leave. Then September, October came, and then for some reason, my friend, one of our church members had gone to Navy boot camp, and he just came back after like 2-3 months, and we're talking, and was telling me how it was. Before you know, the interest, there was this interest in wanting to know more. You know, I needed to go back to school, my master's, and so many things like that. And then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just find out what's about. Went to the recruiting office. I was just talking to them. You know, they will give you all the list of things they want you to sign at that moment. I was like, no, let me go back home. Because I was like, I have to take an exam, ASVAB, and it had maths and everything. And I don't like maths. I felt like I was going to fail it. That was one thing they knew me for in secondary school. They beat me a lot. They beat me a lot. My Mr. Blair, he beat me.
Mr. Blair,
for mathematics. And I told him, I don't think I can pass this thing, you know, and I needed to pass. So I just brought again. Just like here, I just said everything for it. I said, let me just take it. I took the practice test, I passed it. I said, okay, let me go and take the exam. I had 72. That's the highest. Mathematics was the highest.
Wow. That was God telling you, see, don't ever underestimate yourself.
I would have never been. Some of my schoolmates that might watch this would be so shocked because I hated maths. Maths was like I didn't pass WAEC. I didn't pass maths.
Wow.
Yes, I didn't pass maths. That was how horrible it was.
And
so
it's been a while since you even took a math class too.
And that was my highest. You know, I had a 72%. People are like, wow, that's high and stuff like that. So, you know, it happened so fast. Normally, it takes people like a year to get in.
But you just took a month.
Just took a month. I was not prepared. You know, there's the push-up part, the plank, the running that you have to learn. And I've not been going to the gym. I ran away, you know. Within 2 weeks, I said, let me go and actually do small things in the gym. I was just, because I was living in November, on November 21st or 2nd. Yeah, so then I got shipped out. And that was me leaving my comfort zone because I had prayed so much about it. I had so much peace that I was making, that I was making the right decision, despite the fact that I was so scared. So the thing about us having peace that I didn't know before was that there might still be fear, but there's still this peace, despite that fear that you're making that risk. That was what I felt. I've never felt that for anything else before, but I knew I was making the right decision. I got on the bus. I kept on saying, God, am I really doing this? You know, I had watched videos of all these things, and Navy, of course, I don't know how to swim, so I have to learn how to swim because it wasn't even the army, it was the Navy. But you know, I went and I was talking to my friend, and that was Pastor Ben, and for some reason God just used him that same night that I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this thing, because he just, you know, spoke to me and said, if you feel like this is the right decision, I trust you that God is going to do something true. You know, remember one of my sisters was like, you know, you mean that I'm complaining? I was like, I was so concerned about being in church, like, you know, there's no church, like kind of church I'm attending there. How would things be? How will there be believers around me? Will I still be a strong believer? Will I fall off? Like, you know, that is what I was thinking about. Will I be strong when I come back? So there was just
so much going on.
So stepping out of my comfort zone as a believer, out of attending church regularly, to not being able to go to my church at all for about 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So Then, apart from that, being the only Nigerian in my division.
Wow, again.
Yes, with people from different backgrounds. So I stayed in boot camp without phone. Definitely under comfort
Another
zone.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a separate culture shock of
exactly.
Yeah.
Which was the best decision for me because being without food is actually very nice sometimes. When you're nobody's disturbing you,
Detox.
you don't have any. It does. So, I mean, even when I got there, I realized that despite the fact that I was there, one thing I kept on saying, I'm a believer, and no, I'm never going to hide it. You know, the way I used to do it back then when my dad is a pastor, and nobody knew when I went to school. I never hid it. They knew I was a believer. So in fact, people there, Adewusi, can you pray for us? That kind of thing. So I was that's when I knew that I don't think anything can shake me again.
Cannot.
This one, I was here locked up for a long time, listening to different courses. And most times, people even wanted to hear me curse. I'm like, do you ever curse at all? Not only that, 2-3 years ago, I used to be like I used to be big on cursing. So many things. So a lot of things changed. And that's when I realized that wherever God places you, you will still be who you need to be. You just need to be that light wherever you are. Don't hide it. So I never hid it. That was a big. I never hid my praying. I never hid. Stop doing that. That kind of thing. So it was very clear that this was who I am. So I said that was a big comfort zone, leaving that part, and I'm grateful I did actually.
Well, yeah, that's been very detailed. Thank you so much. Your life is awesome from the way I hear it.
Thank you.
And we'll just take a quick breather. We need some time to just chill a little bit and warm up for the next part of the episode. All right, guys. It's been a while now. I've been speaking to Mercy, and she's been dropping all the deets. She's been dropping all the bombs. It's been fun, but we need to take a quick breather and just maybe refresh ourselves so she can come give us more details. So we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. I'll see you guys after the break. All right. So we still have Mercy Adewusi here to talk about her journey so far. So Mercy, how are you doing? Are you better? Are you feeling okay?
I'm good.
Still nervous or
over
it at this point? Okay, that's
better
good.
now.
Good. Yes. So we were talking about stepping outside of your comfort zone, and I think, and I'm very sure, you gave good answers to that. Going to the military and that being the best decision you've ever made. I think that is awesome. That's also inspiring me to step out of my comfort zone too, because that is something I also struggle with, and I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So thank you for inspiring me through that story. That's really
so
a powerful story.
Yeah,
so let's move on to because this is about you, and we want to make it personal. I want to touch all different parts of your life. So let's move on to relationship aspect of your life. So I'm just going to keep this very open-ended, just to give us more insight into your life. So can you describe relationships that have had significant effects on you? It could be one, it could be two, it could be many. I know from the sounds of it, you've had so many people. It's not, relationships are not just boyfriend, girlfriend, dating.
Definitely.
It's also friendships and other things like that. So can you just give me examples of relationship that has had effects on you?
Okay.
Significant, good, not
good,
bad.
Yeah.
We're not focusing on the bad.
I think I'll want to talk about somebody that we kind of stayed together for a short period of time, and the effect she had on my prayer life, really. So that was Takpelumi. So she stayed in my house, and I realized that every night I always wake up to hearing Oluwa. And I'm like, I even mean there's a belief. I'm like, please. But again, that kind of shaped my prayer life, because I saw a consistency in what she was doing. And then I knew that it's actually it's very, very easy to have a prayer life, a consistent prayer life. So most times we struggle with, oh my God, we are busy, we are doing so much. But when we have total reliance, when we are totally reliant on God, we are going to find praying easy. It's going to come. at every single point in our life, at every single time, even if it's something short. Because again, I used to be a very controlling person to now that God help me with this thing. Even to the smallest details, God help me with this. God help me with this. And I believe that shaped my prayer life. I believe my pastor did as well. You know, he made us pray consistently every day. And for a year, we're doing that every single day. And I'm like, I couldn't believe we actually could go for a year. So it shows so much in the fact that if you actually just put your mind into something, you can actually do it. So my prayer life has drastically gotten better.
So like being surrounded by people who you know, were very strong with their prayer life.
Yes.
Also made you very strong in that aspect.
Yes.
So you're telling me to find a roommate that, you know,
I mean,
that probably shouts like that too. So.
It's just about, I mean, again, it starts with total dependence on God.
True.
When you are totally reliant on God, communicating with Him will become easy. So then I kind of struggled with it. You know, consistency sometimes is not going to be a straight line of every day. Sometimes it might be one maybe like twice a week, then it proceeds to 3 times. The most important thing is progress, and you are not like regressing, you are progressing really. So consistency starts from you actually doing it little by little. So you can start with 15 minutes prayer every day, can start with 30 minutes, proceed. Again, the more you find it interesting, you're not seeing it as a chore or a burden. That's when you're not going to pray more. So she didn't see it as a burden. She enjoyed it. Do you understand? So I didn't understand that until I realized the fact that she was totally relying on God regarding every aspect of her life. And prayer again is not just because we are praying for things. I also learned praying for people is so effective. Again, it takes our mind away from what we are experiencing, what we feel like we don't have resolved, and it puts it on someone else, and that expresses love. Right, so you are praying for them, and yours will get resolved. Actually, you know, there's this thing that when you are not even thinking about something, that's when it gets resolved, right?
True.
So, like when you are so worried, you are not going to find solution. So when your mind is not on your own and it's on someone else's own, it gets better there. So definitely, then relationship, definitely my mentor as well. I learned so much from her. You know, books that she told me to read, sections that we had when I was going through like one crazy situation that I needed help with, but you know, there was no judgment at all. And then I also have a relationship with people as well that you know, that in little ways they've also shaped my life. Again, everybody contributed to who this person is now. Definitely God. I believe I didn't just get here on my own. You know, through the help of people that have mentored me, that pastored me, that discipled me. Even the relationships that I do not have anymore, it still helped. In some way, it still contributed. So yeah, definitely. Those are
good. That's good. Well, you mentioned something about love, and you know, in church they would say, God is love, right? Love your neighbors as yourself. So how would you define love in your own understanding? Like if you were to tell other people, you know, how to love others, or how would you define it? How would you explain it to them? I know that is a very open-ended question and very, probably a tough question to answer because it has many definitions, but in your own words and understanding, how would you define it?
Well, I didn't understand love before, and most times until I got to start reading the Bible consistently and understand God's love towards us, that was when I understood love, like what it really means. He said the greatest commandment is loving others, loving your neighbor. You know, love God, love your neighbors. But nobody ever talks about loving yourself first. So most times we can love your neighbors and you cannot love yourself. And we are doing that first because we are pleasing people. Or it can also stem from self-righteousness as well. So that it will make you feel good. Exactly.
But it's not really genuine.
It's not really genuine. You're not
it's not altruistic in a way.
Exactly. Like I used to be that kind of person that, you know, so I would rather not want to shine so that person. God did not teach you that one. You understand? It's not humility and it's not love either. So learning the right kind of love is loving yourself, loving who you are 1st. Then you'll be able to love others correctly. You'll be able to set boundaries. You'll be able to sternly tell them what you don't like and what you like. And you'll be able to be kind towards others. You are kind to an extent as well. Yes, Jesus was very compassionate to people. But if you are having to be doing stuff that you know you shouldn't be doing, especially maybe to one person that keeps doing the same thing when you know you should have, just let them be who they need to be. I mean, at that moment, it doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean it doesn't make you any less of a believer.
True.
So yes, we understand about loving others, but we can get to an extreme point whereby we are not even expressing the love we think that we are expressing. So you can be, let's say, pleasing people, and you know that it's not coming from your heart. You are not meant to be doing it, and you keep doing it, and there's resentment in your life. Are you really expressing love? You know, that kind of thing.
It's hurting you.
Yeah, it's hurting you.
You can't like fill others' cup when your cup is not full.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. So yes, we do. That's the thing about love that people don't understand. Love comes in different ways. It comes in correction as well, just like the way the church is now. And people come to church, and you know, maybe they correct them in one way or the other, and they leave the church. They say the church does not love them, and so many things like that. That's not true. Sometimes love comes in correction. Yes, you might not like it, but see beyond that as well. So yeah, I know most times when we talk about love, we'll say, be kind to people, express Jesus' character, and so many, which is good. But again, you should make sure that your motive is right. Your motive towards the love that you're giving is right, because there can be a bad motive to it. Your love can be, you cannot be love. It can be masked in love, and it's not actually love. You see people that love people too much, and because of that they get so toxic, you know, insecure, and because of the love that they feel like, I love this person too much, I can't die. Nah.
So like the codependency.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So again, learn from God. Love yourself, then you can love others rightly. If you don't love yourself first, you cannot love others rightly. Love comes in the form of boundary. It comes with being secured in yourself, being secured in Christ Jesus, before you can, you know, you can extend that to people as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a perfect answer.
Well, I hope it was some. I mean, I felt like it was a bit confusing, but yeah.
No. I got the message, and I hope, you know, whoever is watching this understood that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, we've covered so many aspects. We covered your personal life, following your journey from, you know, when you're in Nigeria, coming to the US, facing challenges, overcoming obstacles, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone. Usually it's a very, very good life, I would say.
Oh, really?
And I know you'll continue to do that.
Thank
for
you,
sure.
man.
So, you know, if you were to speak to someone younger than you, and what advice would you give them? Just, if you have multiple, that's totally fine.
Oh, wow. Advice. My younger self, really?
Well,
just
your younger self, but you know,
youth.
just like you're speaking to someone younger than you.
Don't rush. Learn to take life one step at a time. Everything that you want will come to you. Don't be envious of people. Don't take.
So does that go to your younger self?
Yes, definitely goes to my younger self. I mean, well, when you say don't be envious of people, like, don't wish their life should be yours. I mean, you get that kind of thing. Like, yes, there's a part of inspiration, and there's a part of wanting to copy people's lives. I wish I had that kind of life. Nah, you're perfect the way you are, and it's cliche sometimes, but it's true. It's very true. Yes, there are things that we have, character flaws we have, which everybody on earth has, that we want to get better at, and we will. There are things we want to achieve that we've not, but learn to trust in the journey that God is leading you on. I hated my life for so long because I felt like, God, I've not achieved all these things yet. I'm not like this person. See the way this person is sitting
and, you know,
down.
they did say comparison is a thief of joy.
Exactly. So growing up, I know you want to you want to have all those soft glam life. I know you want to have those things. To younger generation, especially this generation that is social media based life, and people are achieving so many things at such a young age, and you want to be like them as well. It's not always easy as it seems. In fact, I feel for people that gets very popular at younger age. Because the burden they place, for your whole life you are popular. If any small thing happen, you are out there. Me, I can get away with things. You can't. Do you understand? So don't be in such a hurry to want to be out there. Learn, grow. I mean, then that they told me that adulthood will get me tired, and I was like, it's a lie. I was so quick to want to leave home, and now I'm seeing it, and I'm like,
they were right.
There's really nothing. Now I'm alone. Apart from going to work, then church, then hang out with friends and everything, I won't be doing the things that I thought were fun then, because I see that there is literally no fun in doing those things. Really,
you be like, they told you so.
Exactly. There's no fun. Really. So most times when we speak to people as well, I feel like you don't want to make the same mistake. Some people might not get out of it. You don't know whose life you're trying to copy. You don't know their journey as well. So learn to trust in the journey that God has placed in your life and just follow through with it. Yes, situations will come. Yes, you want to do better, and you will.
I'm holding that for myself.
Yeah, and you will get better. Yeah, and you think about the future and you want to panic. You are so anxious. Another thing is anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Anxiety has, I don't know, it's so surplus now that they've termed it different names. Depression, worry. I'm going through something, fear, I'm anxious, I'm having panic attack. You won't have those things if your head is not clouded with so many things that they shouldn't be clouded with, if you just trust God. So I used to really battle with anxiety because, again, I used to be a person that wanted to be in charge of my life. But until recently, then I'm like, the peace started coming when I was not like thinking about, killing me, you get that kind of thing, and just trusting God. If they ask me, where do you see myself in 5 years? I don't know. Next year, I don't know. 2 years, I don't know.
Because they're giving God control.
Exactly. Since the whole military stuff happened and everything, just made me know that it's not about me anymore. It's about God. So He will lead you, and He will lead you to. He cannot mismanage your life. So I just want us to have that in our head every time those thoughts comes in our head, because those thoughts will come, especially when you're checking social media and things are popping up in your head. Remind yourself that God is with me. God is never, and it comes from trust. It comes from trust. It comes from intimacy with God. The more you get to know God, the more you get to trust Him better. So if you're not intimate with God, and you panic at every instance because you feel like this thing, there's nothing that I'm going to you get that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that would be what I'll give.
That's a good answer.
Thank you so much.
You've just been giving good answers today.
Oh wow.
Well, this episode is about your journey so far up to this point in your age. So is there any other thing you feel like you should talk about or touch on, like past related, that you want to talk about, because we're going to be moving into what to look forward to in the future. The past, like you say, past is gone, and I don't want to really dwell on it, but I'm grateful for everything that happened, both the good, the bad, the ugly. When we hear the scriptures, it says all things work together for your good. All things mean all things. So everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. I've gone through series, or maybe let's say a breakup, that it was through that breakup that I found out that you have been so healing for so many times. God has been trying to tell you that you should not be so dependent on this person, and just trust me and let me guide your life. And I've done things that I could never have imagined, and that only came from the situation I had. So even when I moved down here and I went through what I went through, I wouldn't be in Christ Church or be here right now if I had not gone through those things. True.
So I know regret sometimes wants to come up
creeping.
and creeping and so. But again, remember the fact that your journey is unique to you, and you won't be where you are now if those things had not happened. They make you better.
You appreciate things better too.
Yes, you appreciate things better, so I'm better for it. In fact, even the mistakes I made, I am better for it because I am able to handle things. I am able to help people's lives so that they don't make those mistakes as well.
That's true.
And that's the most important thing, to know that you are better. It gets better. And that's what comes up in my head every time. Even when I will still make mistake tomorrow, maybe.
And that's like your purpose right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it gets better. Oh, I went through this stuff, it gets better. Oh, you did. So in fact, I don't think anybody can even feel accused by anything. Because then when I first started becoming a serious believer, I used to be so scared of uploading it on my social media because the kind of things I used to post before were kind of different.
Very different.
So I get really, really anxious when I post anything. I'll just take my phone away. I'm not checking anything. I'm not checking who viewed it. Or if I see anybody, this person, you knew that I was posting this thing before.
So you'll be anxious.
So I'll be anxious. I'll be like, what will they think of me now? But now that I see it, exactly. Now that I see it, I want them to think about the fact that this person has changed. Meaning God can change your life as well. So don't be stuck on the fact that I've been this way and God cannot change my life. I've done these things and God cannot change my life. God loves you. God can use anybody.
Sure.
God used Paul that was killing believers. And so, and you've not committed murder yet, have you? So exactly. So it's just knowing that just makes you know that there's nobody God cannot use. And even if anybody accuses you of anything, always remind yourself, you said in Romans 8:1 that there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So I'll say that. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good advice.
Thank you.
There's just a lot of gems in this.
Yeah, I'm learning.
I'm learning. I'm watching this
Thank
again.
God. You're doing good.
So now that we're moving on to what to look forward to, can you just tell me what legacy are you hoping to leave behind? I know it's still too early, but it's never too early, honestly. So
the person that lived out God's will for our life, really, and there's so much more God is going to do. I know that one for sure. When we receive words, sometimes, I'm grateful I'm in Christ Church because we prophesy into each other's lives, and we write them down, because I write down when I receive words of knowledge. And then, when I receive words like that, sometimes we want it instantaneously. But sometimes it might be 10 years to come, it might be 5 years to come. And I have received stuff, and I know for sure that there's so much more I'm still going to do. And the focus again is that I'm actually doing what God wants me to do. Not because I want to be out there, but because God has instructed me to. So sometimes it's going to sound absurd. Sometimes it's going to sound scary. Sometimes it's going to sound like you are doing too much. But if it's God that sent you, I don't think other people's opinions matters. It's what you are doing that matters.
I really, really admire your discipline.
It's like other people's opinions don't matter. Yeah, people are going to say stuff. They'll be like, why are you suddenly doing this? Especially even like when ideas pop in. Again, remember this word someone gave me? He said, our imagination is a tool minister to us. So God sometimes speaks through the imagination. I remember when I was growing up, and I go to for like concerts or something, and I see people ministering, singing, and when I go for that was in school though, it was different. There was this expression of God's love. There was people speaking in tongues. I saw myself doing that then, and imagine me doing it now in church. So, and that was then. I didn't even realize that I was going to ever do it. So sometimes our imagination is not just for it's going to happen, especially if God is involved in our lives. So again, you get a lot of hurdles, obstacles, a lot of talks about why you're doing stuff, but again, only God matters. People will say stuff, it doesn't matter. They will join him at the end of the day, especially if it's God that orchestrates it. So yeah, so I do plan on doing a lot more. Definitely, I'm excited to see what God will do in my life as well.
I'm excited too.
Yeah, I'm excited for you too because I definitely know. You know, I've told you before.
Amen.
Yeah, I've
Amen.
told you before.
Amen. Amen.
I've told you like since you know.
I want to get there
Like
too.
we connected and everything. So yeah, definitely.
I'm excited for you. I'm really like genuinely excited
Thank
for
you so much. Thank you so much.
So, where do you see yourself in, the next coming years? I know we just talked about, what you hope, what legacy you hope to leave behind, but like, just to keep it closer to the days, like,
I don't know.
I actually knew you were going to say that. Actually, because you did say something about you let God take the wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
I used to have a book where I wrote down stuff. I don't anymore. Of course, I still have short-term goals, or maybe like, let's say things maybe I need to have read a book, like this number of books, those short-term things. But I'm not going to put that on me because I don't want to get to that stage, and I'm not doing those things, and I'm like, you get that kind of thing. So yeah, let's just see how it goes, and hopefully, hopefully get there.
Well, you did awesome.
Thank you so much.
Perfectly.
Thank you very much.
I got a lot of inspiration from you today.
Thank you very much.
So, is there any other thing, anything that you would like to mention before we, end this?
I would say, like so many things are going to come, especially through this space, and if you're going through one thing or the other that you feel like you need counseling on, or you want me to pray with you or anything like that, you can just reach out to me. Maybe leave a comment, or you can reach me on Instagram or anything like that. And because I do believe that God can use anybody. No, I didn't share in details how my life had been before, but I had done things I'm not proud of in the past as well. So I do believe that you can do more. You can express the gift of the Spirit. You can actually speak in tongues. You can prophesy into people's life. You can be discerning. Everything is for you. And if you want to get better, if you want to grow, you don't know how to start, or you are going through some issues that you feel like you need counseling or prayer from, you can reach out to me, and I believe God would want me to impact people's lives as well, just as my life has been impacted, just as my story. I'm telling this story, people are so deep. So there is so much more you can do. Do not even think you are not perfect. Do not think that God can never use you. Do not think that you are gone, that you are forgotten. He uses the least of us, and that's what that matters. He said you are secured in Christ forever, so you are always secured in Him, and He's always there. So God loves you. He will always love you. You are not condemned. You are not you're not depressed. It starts from your mind. So I just want you to accept Jesus Christ into your life right now. And it's simple. The gospel is literally simple. It's not about what you do. It's not about okay, I will not lie. I used to write that down before. That it shows my joy. So I will not lie. So when I not lie, I get depressed because I'm trying to do it on my own. God, and when I didn't think about it anymore, was when I didn't do those things. Just like when I used to listen to worldly music, I used to write down songs before, and for some reason, it didn't even occur to me until months later, and I'm like, my friend was telling me, you have not even listened to this thing, and I'm like, oh, that's true. So because I didn't force it, so most times we are trying to force ourselves to not commit sin, but it doesn't work that way. Let God help you. So whatever you have done before, wherever you have been, He can still restore you. So I want you to accept Jesus Christ into your life, live that fulfilled life again. And that was what I was saying.
And that goes to all the audience,
yes,
right?
definitely.
Well, Mercy, it was nice having you. I got a lot from today, and I hope that everyone watching this will learn a lot from this too.
Thank you so much.
Mercy.
Thank you so
Adewusi, the journey so far.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you all the best. I know that God has a lot in store for you, and you will do great things. So, we're going to end it here.
Thank you.
So, audience, are you there? We've come to the end of this show or this episode. I hope you guys were able to learn a lot from what Mercy said today, and I hope you guys were able to see into what our journey has been like so far, and to understand what she has in plan or in stock for you guys in the future. So I'll see you, or we will see
You
you
will see.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.